Hey classic film fans, welcome to this week's Comet Over Hollywood. This week we are going to movie night at my house. Every month I have what is called Classics at Comets. This was actually an idea of one of my friends so that they could see films that they've been wanting to see for a while, such as Rear Window, To Kill a Mockingbird, or Psycho. We're going on a decade rotation, and I started in the 80s and moved backward, thinking that maybe more recent movies would be easier to ease in the non-classic film fans. So far we've watched Poltergeist, The Sting, Goldfinger, and Rebel Without a Cause. This movie night that we're going to show you is actually from when we watched Goldfinger for the 60s rotation. I felt that a James Bond film was appropriate for the 1960s era because of the spy and Cold War aspect of it. The 1940s movie coming up is most likely going to be Shadow of a Doubt because it was a favorite of mine and was actually also Alfred Hitchcock's favorite movie that he did. Also thinking about doing Live Old Lady for the 1930s. I haven't decided if I want to introduce my friends to silent films since we just started. If so, what silent films have you introduced your friends to? So now we're going to take a look at our last film night, which was this past week, and see what Classics at Comets is all about. So we switched it up to watch Goldfinger rather than Dr. No because it's a better movie. Interesting facts, the Aston Martin was Aston Martin, originally they wanted to use the E-Type Jaguar, but that was too expensive. Then, they went to Aston Martin. They actually didn't want to do it, and so, but after they were finally convinced to use the Aston Martin, or producers finally convinced Aston Martin to use in the film, and they saw how successful it was. They went on to use the same car afterwards. As y'all know, this was the first appearance of the laser in a movie. Something I thought was interesting, Ian Fleming, the writer of the novels, he named Goldfinger for a modernist architect named Erno Goldfinger, who was quite controversial. And when the guy found out, he threatened a lawsuit, and then Ian Fleming was really snarky and said, well, I could change it to Gold Prick. And they settled all out of court, and clearly they used the name. Like I was saying earlier, Pussy Galore was supposed to be a lesbian in the book, and then eventually he makes her, it takes a while for him to convince her to get with him. And the little flight girls, the Pussy Galore's flying circus, apparently several of them were men in blonde wigs. Oh, and the director Fellini, he did like Romeo and Juliet, and I think 8 1/2, is that correct? After he saw this movie, he was really excited, and he said that this was making films move forward. Basically, though I'm not like the biggest James Bond fan, I picked this for the 60s because I felt like it was appropriate with the changes in film where things were getting a little more sexual than they had been, and also like the Cold War aspect and the spies and stuff like that. So, yeah. The point of movie night isn't to convert my friends into classic film fans, but there are some movies out there, such as Citizen Kane or Gone with the Wind, that I think everybody needs to see. They might not know Judy Holliday won the Oscar for Born Yesterday, or even who Leslie Howard is, but maybe by the end of this they will. What are some films that you think everybody needs to see? Next week, I'm going to be discussing the new book, Vivian Leigh, An Intimate Portrait by our friend Kendra Bean. She's been working on this for a long time, and it's gorgeous with lots of pictures in it that spans throughout her career, from Gone with the Wind to Streetcar Named Desire and her marriage to Laurence Olivier. Also next week, since it's close to Halloween, I'll be showing you my classic film costume, and I would like to see yours. We'll also be discussing some classic horror movies such as Billy the Kid Meets Dracula, which I actually watched yesterday and I can't wait to review it for you. Well, I think that's all for this week. And until next week, please send us your classic film related Halloween costumes, whether it be from this year or last year. Email address is below, cometoverhollywood@gmail.com, and also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and subscribe. I look forward to discussing more Halloween horror films with you next week and talking about more classic films. Hope you enjoyed. Bye!